Ah, now this takes us back, brother? 1998, checking out the new releases in Babbage's, watching the world experiment with plaid flannel and that 90s Seth Green haircut Leon sporting.
Simpler times.
Resident Evil was a simpler series back then, just plain old Romero zombies plodding along and eating people. And not eating them ironically like today's hipster zombies, they were doing it for the love
of organ meats.
As long as it's sincere, who are we to judge? The exact same appetites keep Greek delicatessens in business. The zombies of Resident Evil 1 and 2 represented a kind of purity of form that was really muddied up and lost in later entries, what with their shift to giant parasite worms and designer bat spiders.
Now hold on, brother. Resident Evil has always employed slimy, tentacle-tongued eyeball creatures all the way back to the very first entry.
Yes, but they weren't always in and or eating your face. The designers understood that if you wanted to get maximum psychological impact from a skinless homicidal chimpanzee bodybuilder, you didn't just shovel them at the player like circus peanuts. You held them back and let the iconic enemies, the zombies, set the game's tone.
That tone being slow and awkward.
You're being facetious, brother, but you're actually quite correct. Horror becomes less effective if it all stays at the same level, shock scare piled on shock scare. The human mind is in a perpetual race to adapt to any situation and, by extension, turn it boring. You need the valleys of slow zombies to accentuate the peaks of vampire crackhead frog octopi.
Are those in the game?
Probably at this point. As for me, give me the classics, just you and 15 bullets versus shambling zombies in your own god-awful control scheme.
Tank controls were an odd choice for human navigation.
I suppose the designers felt the need to level the playing field against an enemy with the raw mobility of one's sickly great-grandmother. Confidentially, I always enjoyed Leon and Claire's little half-hearted Mexican hat dance when they tried to turn 40 degrees.
It was calming to see Leon, beset by a horde of ravenous zombies, casually stroll to safety.
Which is odd when you see the goofy police onesie/tracksuit he's wearing. He's clearly dressed for faster things.
What's odd is that you see several other policemen in the course of the game, and they're all dressed normally. Why was Leon wearing that? I know it was supposed to be his first day on the job. Did his mother sew him his own police uniform without knowing what they looked like?
Oh, well, come on, Chad. It's pretty obvious what was going on. They were hazing him. They sent him the uniform, and then he'd show up at the welcome party wearing that, the center of attention, and all the other cops will be wearing regular uniforms, and then for the next 10 years of his career there, everybody'd call him Jammies and tape photos of his ridiculous outfit to his locker.
Are you sure?
A bunch of grown cops were throwing him a welcome party, Chan, with cake and ice cream. Have you ever worked at a job that gave welcome parties for new employees?
I worked 4 weeks at a restaurant where one of the senior staff slipped a handful of anchovies into the hood of my jacket.
And there you have it. Leon may have felt some horror at seeing the city destroyed and his new co-workers messily devoured by hordes of the undead. But when you think about it, for him, it was really a best-case scenario.